posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he is one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their side is there. These are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are
see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of CDC headquarters in Comot Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does your administration ensure that such enforcement action don't fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
What will George Weah, who is tempted by a Joseph Walker, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, practically dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you wear vex that you will stop the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, he would have fallen in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commenced the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Your respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Coleman today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they can. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for a good image, you are happy. In becoming a bad person, George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that party can continue to maintain. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
Acting on credible intelligence and through the vigilance of Joint Security Officer at the Round International Airport on June 8, 2026, led a successful operation led to the interception of 198 compressed plates of cocaine amounting to 237.6 kilograms. The estimated value of the 237.6 kilograms of cocaine is 19,246,000. Approximately 3.6 billion $. This statement was distinct by Brussels Airlines to England. This seizure represents one of the most significant narcotic transactions in recent history and demonstrates the effectiveness of the ongoing reform at the LDA and the investment to our intelligence-led operation and the cooperation and collaboration for interagencies in the law enforcement sector. Active investigation is ongoing. Persons of interest are currently being identified in the custody of the LDA. Particulars of those in LDA custody are being withheld currently to protect the integrity and confidentiality of the investigation. Until the appropriate time, those information on the particulars of those who are custody, other substance linking to the drug will be released to the public in a very short period of time. The LDA remains fully committed to ensuring that every individual connected to this criminal network is identified, investigated, and prosecuted appropriately.
Who took the drugs at the airport? How many days did that drug spend at the airport? Who took the drugs at the airport? How many days did that drug spend at the airport? Who received the drugs? What were the consignments? Because there are allegations that we have over 19 million. We are just discussing 19 million, but as per our information, they have gone 50 million. Who took the drugs at the airport? How many days did that drug spend at the airport? Who received the drugs? What were the consignments? Because there are allegations that we have over 19 million. They are just discussing 19 million, but as per our information, they have gone 50 million.
The investigation found that on Friday, June 5th, 6 boxes were prepared for shipment through the cargo system at the Roberts International Airport. The shipment was processed under Ford's description of ordinary goods, declaring it to be Maggie Cube and Lapa. But from the beginning, there were already red flags. Discrepancies in the declared weight of the product, suspicion from the screening images, and conflicted shipment documentation. Because of those discrepancies, the cargo did not leave as planned on June 5th. On Sunday, June 7, 2026, when the boxes were rescanned and physically inspected, a white powdery substance was discovered concealed in them. That substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion of certain condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working on a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their side is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
It's another day, great day. It is Monday, the 10th day of August 2026, the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Judah Christopher. Yes, what a day, what a time, and what a station. Kings 88.5. We go rear, as always, on Rear Talk. I'm Sam Andrews. Grateful we are to God Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe, the God who keeps watch over each and every person. Faithful God, never reneging on his promises, but fulfills every word that he uttered in the fullness of his time. He is the good God. Thank you for coming on to all of you great people. We acknowledge you. You are so great, so massive, so extraordinary. Yes, you're so special, man. It's a rainy day in LIB. Rainy, but it's rainy on purpose. Yes, it's rainy on purpose. Let's bring up a few of you, and then we get to what we've got on our plate this rainy day in LIB. What the Unity Party people want us to refer to as the Republic of Unity Party, but it can be no. Abdullah Masare, a Grand Kipman County, Tobasi, Perry Slobot. You're saying no sound, Perry Slobot, no sound. What that means? You're not getting me. You're not understanding me. No sound at all. Is that what you're saying? Paris Lobot, I don't know. From the you're not getting, then you have to check your device, Chief. But we are out. The sound is out. Emmanuel Gue, Mozak Dennett, Minnesota, Boyman Gwinen, UBA, Bank, Bapin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Beatrice Sherman, US, Eric Farmboy, River G County, Patrick Tamara, Johnsonville, Nevet Pevet, Morovia, Musa A. Sharif, Congo Town, B. Abraham Smart, Kakata, Magibi County, Mantonian Son, Broville, Fatu Kanen, Kakata, Magibi County, Vinicius Bar, Borough of New Crew Town, Claude de Port, Louis Luogon, River G County, Emmanuel Yulu, Chicken Soup Factory Golf, William Hoff, Minnesota, USA, Joseph Kekula, Zuba Town, Samson Carey, District 11, Otis Davids, Green Crew, Bua Duaken, Bokari Sharif, New Crew Town, Lovetta Bumble, so clear. Nathan Yuma Jr., ERWA Junction, Jordan Dole, Quaduboni District, Lofa County, Morris, Zodua, Mecklin Street, Waterside, Jeremiah Labla, So Clinic, Gaza, Stanley Bozo, Paris Slobot, USA, New Jersey, Washington Dolo, Banga City, Bond County, Stanley Bozo, Congress City, Saturday Woodaway, Atlanta, Georgia, USA, God Sent, Sando, Patience Shop, Batnottsville, is it? Le Pays, Jerry, Calcutta, Rita Christine Hicks, Massachusetts, USA, Benita Debbie, Johnsonville, Emmanuel Broad, Minnesota, USA, Josephine Newton. Okay, yeah, Josephine said the sound is great. So, Chief, check yours. Josephine, thank you. Josephine Newton, Why, you related to Newton Tokpa? Oh, okay. Newton is the first name, yours is last name. Okay. My dear sister, Orita Sunday Choir, good to have you on. All of you, Jumo Colley from your residence, Jukonti Chia, your business center, Johnson Street, Morovia, the chairman himself, Roma Rico, the chairman for life, one and only chairman, the common citizen chairman. All of you, welcome. Just a reminder, the 21st of August, His Excellency, the President, former George Manan Weah, will address scores of lawyers, politicians, business executives, journalists, media executives, just name it, across the eye of human existence on the 21st. Nigerian Bar Association annual conference, and they have chosen no one best suited to address them than His Excellency, the former President of the Republic of Liberia, George Manan Weah. It is my understanding that you have marked the date on your calendar, the 21st. It starts on the 21st and it ends on the 28th of August. This August, not next year, this August. Please mark that. It will be screened live, the entire conference, and emphasis is always placed on the opening ceremony. So it's going to be on the first day. Let's bring you a few developments unfolding out of Liberia. Then we get to what we've got on our plate for today. The Nigerian Air Force says 9 fighters from the Islamic State West Africa province have been killed in an airstrike carried out over the weekend. Those killed include a key commander whom the military says was responsible for facilitating the movement and protection of senior members of the militant group. Air Commodore Inahem, the Air Force Director of Public Relations and Information, said surveillance enabled the military to identify and track a group of suspected insurgents moving towards a hideout. The airstrike, the armed forces said, is part of ongoing efforts to tackle insurgency and terrorism in the country. South Africa is commemorating the 70th anniversary of the landmark 1956 Women's March against Apartheid passed laws. As activists said, many women still face violence and inequality today. The Democratic Republic of Congo Ebola outbreak has surpassed 4,000 confirmed cases and nearly 1,900 deaths recorded as authorities battle the world's second largest outbreak. More than 300 people have died in the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's according to the United Nations. Children account for nearly a quarter of confirmed cases, but almost a third of deaths. More than 4,000 cases and 1,850 deaths have been reported. The outbreak is also reducing access to health care and increasing risks for pregnant women. The World Health Organization is preparing a vaccine trial and calling for stronger early detection, contact tracing, and access to care. Around 13,000 community workers have reached more than 2.4 million people with Ebola prevention information. And Senegal has charged 71 men over alleged same-sex acts as authorities intensify a crackdown on LGBTQ plus people. Another 28 defendants had their charges dropped. That's according to public prosecutor. The arrest come after Senegal passed a new law in March increasing prison terms for same-sex relations to between 5 and 10 years. More than 100 people, including some local celebrities, have reportedly been arrested in recent months. A French engineer detained since February also had the charges against him dropped, although prosecutors have appealed the decision. Those are some of the developments unfolding out of Liberia. Let's get to what we've got on our plate. Again, please mark that on your calendar. The 21st of September, this month, not next year, this month, His Excellency, the former President, Republic of Liberia, will deliver an insightful, informative, educative, motivational talk to scores of Nigerian lawyers, business executives, journalists, politicians, just everybody. The 21st day of August. Please mark that on your calendar. The government is still battling the Kurds. They have to pray to get the Kurds off this government. Otherwise, then that is going to be more than bad. But before we get there, please, let's bring you what they have been doing. They consider it controlling the narratives. They have been devilish. They have been liars. They have not been honest. So much so that their dishonesty, their lies, their fakery has caught up with them. And today they are acting like they know the narrative stay, or they are pushing the narrative when in reality they do not know. They are still feeling like they are in opposition. So they're coming up with different kinds of lies here and there. Now, all that they try to bring up or they are bringing out is not working and can work. It can work in this time because they are not in opposition again. Everybody is saying everything, every day, everywhere. Instead of being truthful, they have resorted to this gimmick. That's how it is called, and think that they are smart enough, or that when they talk, then no one would say anything, people will flow with it. But again, they are communicating their ideas to the tiny youpists, the ones who can reason, the ones who just put hate within themselves. They live with that hate. So those are the ones that they speak to. I'm referencing what came out at the weekend with Senator Prince Moi. He doesn't know politics. He try and take years. You don't run out and make below you. Another person, another politician who is informed, an authority in the area. The only reason Prince Moi then they gallivanting all over the place, showcasing themselves, acting like the big politicians for Unity Party, because they are in power. Prince Mo does not have a record of anything significant to this country. In the legislature, before he went to the legislature, It's just like the other people who just brag around here. Most of the guys you see bragging today, nothing they can show prior to ascending to the president, the presidency, their party now. So he had a number of damning things to say against the former Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. How can you, in your normal self, say you rescue the vice president? The vice president was in cage, and it was good that they rescued the daughter. How did they rescue when the daughter ended her tenure democratically? You people won by a slimmer margin, and you people were sworn in constitutionally. How is that a rescue? That's not a rescue. People who claim to be educated, they use expression. They trying to portray like they are politicians, they know political jargons, but they just don't know. You can say that of the VP. Now, have a listen and a watch Senator Moy.
The vice president was saying, they convene those people, because when you come from the community, they will say, oh, media come from here, Sarada come from here. That's not from my business. That's not from my business. I know how to tow my own Kenya. And that's why I'm very, very strategic in doing that. So as I said, if you see a young minister here, if you see Moses Bayen, young minister, and if you see Candace Dory, yes. If you see Selena Posey Mappy, if you see Martha Morris, and if you see DG Christopher Sanko, the Deputy Director General for Administration and Finance at Donfos Fopa, Alabra, yes. If you see all of those, if you see Kwali, Assistant Minister for Administration and Ministry of Health, Gabby Harris, I think the list long. You see that Luther, Alexander Luther. You see all of that. Because the president knows very well that Bongade is the baby butch. Bongade is a sweet state. Anywhere you lay too heavy, I'm proud of come from there. Anywhere you lay. And that's why we have to exert our importance in the body politics. If the variable remains the way it is, NEMA will absorb the some ease. Yes. Lofa will move. Exactly. What can be the deciding factor? And that's why we encourage the unity party led government. That's why I encourage the president. That's why I encourage the president to continue to look into Paul Gaiman, very thankful. That's why he has decided to put the convention center. That's why he brought 2 set of yellow machine here. That's why he's building a new CP Doma on the Lofa Road. That's why a referral hospital is going down to Lower Bond. That's why you see the football academy coming. That's why you see Mita and Hospital operating to build the sport park in Pala. That's why you see the diagnostic center in Batwa. So, Mr. President, when you continue to do more and more, you can see Bongade going, green. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. And I think we deserve more. We deserve more. We want to say thanks to the President of the Republic of Liberia for ensuring that Bond County is on the map in terms of development. I will not have any regret that we took our sister from bondage, from Vice President bondage, and tried to liberate the county. Ensuring that Bond County is on the map.
Please listen. Yeah, he's about to say it. He starts with no regret.
In terms of development, I will not have any regret that we took our sister from bondage, from Vice President bondage, and tried.
He said, "You have no regret that they took their sister from Vice President bondage." In essence, that the Vice President was a packer just as President Borkai in opposition was a pack car for 12 years. That's the insinuation or the inference he is sending across, which is far. That's not true. But let's listen to the end.
To liberate the county. And next time our sister will feel very strong that yes, I think I will now treat them well. And she has said that. It doesn't matter of politics. She knows that. And we in solidarity with her. And that's our mother. We respect her. And we respect her as a son of this soil. And that's why she was here for the ECU graduation, and we'll continue to give her that respect. It was not in any way that we hated her, but we said the way you have been treated. We didn't see it in current, political dispensation. And that's why the current president is treating. That's why the current president is treating his vice president without comfort, so that Lima doesn't go the way born and when the other time. Yesterday we were in Toronto. We put ground for a mini Pokemon water system and the tune of 180,000 in our local community. The assessment is ongoing. They have done few wells to test the soil to see where water flow will be, and I'm sure by next year they want to build the water and sewer office here. They're going to do the testing, and by next year the cost of restoring water to Banga is projected, according to Mohammed Ali yesterday, almost $7 million. Wow. And that's the target that we have to achieve, to get water in Banga.
Right. So that is his version, what he had to say against the former vice president, Joa Howard Taylor, that they rescue her from bondage. That's a strong word to use. And that Honor Borkai, they have initiated unprecedented developments that the county, Bond County, did not see under the George Weah CDC government. That bondage, he simply meant that the vice president, Joa Howard Taylor, was subjected. She didn't have any right. She was squeezed in a corner and on and on. Bondage, you know what a bondage is. I need not tell you, you know what a bondage is. Whatever context you use it, it means the same thing. In a political context, it simply meant that the vice president did not have any free will. The vice president was not consulted. The vice president was just not treated as a vice president. That's why he brought in the vice president of President Borkai. He said, thank God the vice president Jeremiah Kuhn is this and that. So, yes, Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn is not a packer because the president is a stingray. And who told us that? The late Prince Johnson. He said the man is old. When we become president, then Jeremiah Kuhn will be doing all the work. Where is that clip? There it comes. When we win, then Jeremiah Kuhn will be doing all the work. If you have a frail president, who does most of the work? The person who is active. In this case, who is active? The vice president is active then. The president. Look at the president. Look how he walks. Look at how that president looks like an active person. That president looks like a president that can stand for 20, 25, 30 minutes. So who does? Prince Maud made no mistake. He thought that he was saying something smart or that he was giving a disparity or a difference between the two. But he was just confirming in those words that his president is frail and the vice president is active. So the vice president takes on almost all the responsibilities, which Prince Johnson said that when we become president, then the vice president will be doing all the work. And that's why he said He said when we become president, it's not the vice president that will be doing all the work. And truly, that's what you see. Who's doing all the work? The vice president. Prince Johnson prophecy.
The Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The old. He take Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you as president. The Omer is old. He take to produce vice president. Our prayer. When you turn to the man, the Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? Against our prayer for you to produce vice president. The Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? The Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The Omer is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing a job for you. Can he go everywhere? No.
Then the vice president himself, didn't the vice president himself spoke of the president's frail, the president, just everything human frail. The very vice president, he said it. He said it.
These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, a good everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill.
Now, is something good? A vice president coming in as vice president, saying that of President Boakai, say the brain is old, the brain is failing. Listen to the man's description. That Prince Motor. You have the two of them. The vice president, Joe Howard Taylor, was active. Joe Howard Taylor was not in bondage. No. The president today is in bondage because he cannot move freely. His health cannot allow him. He takes more. The vice president does all of the work. Just as Prince Johnson said, and just as the very Jeremiah Kun said, he said your brain is going down, meaning I find the man concept Boaga been suffering from dementia. You know what dementia is? It's mental retardedness. You are down. But you saw it. You saw it. The man going Tanzania, he talking different things, he voice going one fall down. In your own country, they call him to a podium to start talking. He leave there, he going home. He know where he going. Those are signs of dementia. That's what the vice president meant. He said a brain is going down, decay. That's not all that vice president said it.
Knowing that 2023, he'll be tired. He could have a good heart, a good death.
Say 2023, man, be tired. And truly, what you see, Boaga tired. When the pastor said it, everybody got vexed. The pastor was not saying something new. The bishop, rather, the primate, was not saying something new. He was just re-echoing what was already said by a number of people from Unity Party and outside saying Boaga frailtiness. That's all. Yeah, Jeremiah Kun coming in as vice president, he said, no, Bole Mayor.
Knowing that 2023, he'll be tired. He could have a good heart, a good everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him pepper. Every day I gotta buy him pepper. There's a man who bought me pepper before.
So, you know what the man meant by that, using his father? That analogy was, he was simply saying that Boakai, Boakai at that time, I don't know now, but at that time, Boakai wearing pimples. That's what he was simply saying. That's what he meant by using that the analogy, using his father. He said, at this level, meaning Boaka and my father at this level. So at this level, my father is using pen pots. Equally, this man is using pen pots. So the man brain, when your brain goes, and you know what he was saying? The man brain going down. You can recollect, you can think normally, you can sometimes you just do things on yourself. That's the description Jeremiah gave of a man, Job Walker.
But the brain is going down. 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 You're not holding the end. You're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he said, he said, when you run for one term, he said, I agree with him. 2023, no.
So, Chief, Prince Moy, it's just like you have a serious soul, a serious soul, terrible soul that is draining you down by the day. Incurable soul, it can get cured. Then you turn to a person who has a little squash and say the person is this, the person is that. That's the irony of Unity Party people politics. You have a president who is just president by the name president. You have the vice president doing everything. They saw it from the beginning.
The old man is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, and I could be doing the job for you. Can he go everywhere?
And who's going everywhere? Who's doing everything? Nakun. Nakun enjoying the vice presidency, and Kun knows that he will be president. He's fighting. No wonder why Sheikh Mustafa Kuyate said there are 4 groups around the president. One of the groups wants something to happen to him, so they will take over. Then you look at the VP, the former VP, and say she was in bondage. So the former VP took up time to react. She did not allow it to slip because she realized that these Unity Party people, as much as they're in a political space to intellectualize, they have a devilish plan. So she opted to react to that, not allowing it to go down the drain at all. She gave her reaction, and then, the Unity Party people Prince Mo will come back, but she did explain her side, dismissing everything he said, and that the development in the county, she spoke of it, that the county witnessed huge, significant development under George Weah and the CDC government.
I haven't seen any significant work being done in Bong County. Most of what you see being dedicated is work that was started during the George Weah tenure. Yeah, maybe they have jobs that they're giving, but we had a lot of young people also in government at different levels. People seem to have forgotten that the Ministry of Agriculture was given to Bong County. Remember the story? After the minister got into the Ministry of Agriculture, he decided that he would take all of the projects that belonged to the county and put it in his private Press, I think was the name of the organization. And that's how he was removed. So it wasn't that Bong County didn't have opportunities. When it comes to Bong County, I believe all of us must put Bong County first. There's a saying here in Bong County that when you're in a situation and you are naked, you're not there here in front of yourself. We'll put it in front of your friend. What was done by Senator Moy and others, they took their hand from themselves as being naked and put one in Lofa and put the other hand in Nimba County, leaving Bong County empty and bare. So for me, I didn't want the statement being made to remain in the ears of the people of Bond County, because there was a lot done here on our watch.
So let's go to the naming of those things that were initiated by the CDC government that Senator Moy will say nothing happened significantly. Everything Bond County is experiencing today is enjoying the people of Bond County. You heard him, initiated by President Joseph Boakai. So let's hear the VP with the list on those events or those developments that the CDC government initiated. Let's go.
2029, there will be one significant thing that will happen. President, we have served for 6 years. President Boyka would have served for 6 years. I believe what Bonkan will be looking at, number one, what were the tangible benefits that we got during the year tenure as opposed to what we got during the Boyka tenure. That'll be the first thing. What has she done? Right, everything. Let's see where we are. The second thing is, Bonkan will have another opportunity to take part in the last 3 years in power. Will we again allow people to come and give us chorus and take our hands from in front of ourselves and put it in front of Nimba and Lofa, or maybe Lofa and somewhere in the southeast? I don't know, but the county will have to take that decision. What would be in the best interest, not a 2-hour tailor, because like I said before, I'm just one individual. What would be in the best interest of raising one county from where we left it to a new level? I think that would be the discussions as we go into 2029, and I'll be a part of that conversation of meaningful, because I think we have to come back and remind people about the things that were done as opposed to the record. So we are going on the record in 2029. The record will be what the judge we have to do for Bond County, what the judge we have, what the President Boyka do for Bond County. And this is where we'll be.
Were you in bondage under the CDC administration? Because Senator Moy said you was in bondage and free. Were you in bondage?
That is not true. I was not in bondage. If I was in bondage, the projects and the interventions that the WIA-led government did in Bond County would have never come to pass. And when you're in a leadership position, it's not about you. And that's the point I want to make. I might have had some challenges, but everybody has challenges regardless of where you work. But in the end, was Bond County marginalized? I said no, Bond County was not marginalized, because if it was, President, we are going to the southeast. So President, we are comes from the southeast, and look how many the votes are coming from the southeast, regardless of the fact that he kept saying in his second round he will go home and take care of his own people. He said, let the people who join us first get the benefits. Bond County is one of those key places. So I was not in bondage. The Banga to Batara Junction, everyone was done during our tenure. The major school that you say that we're talking about today that is open, the Bond County Technical College that provides the opportunity, and to the United Party, we didn't get all the support that we needed. It took President we had to get into power and say, okay, let's empower Bond Technical College to make sure it is one of the best. Money was put there, the building was completed, the new programs were brought on board. When you do something, it's about how you affect the lives of millions of others, not just a small group or an individual. So I want to take this conversation from a Senator Moy to our conversation. It's about Bond County. And maybe when the press meets him in the next round, you can ask him, Senator, where are the new projects that the United Party has brought on? We now are overwhelmed with the whole issue with drugs. No here, no take, no middle. Nobody talking. Everybody just sitting quietly. When they said that we were doing drugs and bringing drugs in the country, last time our push, they said, oh, President, we are bringing push. There was a conversation that went across the whole country. So because you're bringing push, we're not lying. What did we do? You see, when there's a problem, even in your home, the reason why they will say your father is a good father is because you do something to solve the problem. President, we had a cabinet meeting, we decided we begin to build rehab facilities for the young people. The only requirement was people will go there themselves. We're not going to go arrest people, or what if they are forced them. I visited 2 of those centers during the campaign. Oh, right in Kakaga, almost 300 young people were there. The fact of the matter is we started to deal with the issue of voluntary, getting people into the center and dealing with them. So there were those centers. If you talk about, I'm still looking, and maybe the press can actually do an assessment, which will be good for the county. What were those major things that were done in the we are Taylor-led government? What has been done now? We are year number 3, and we're still hearing all the dedicating old projects that are already done that we might not have had the time to dedicate it. But I said, let's go and run our campaign on when we dedicated projects. I think it was a wrong strategy. We should have gone and dedicated those projects so everybody will see. But everybody knows, like you said, do your fact check and find out what was provided. Challenges ensued, but the fact of the matter that the challenges that ensued stopped Bond County from getting its law for benefits? No, it did not. Because I don't think any other president would have given vice presidency and deputy speakership to one county. So it went beyond me as an individual. And I think his admission that they actually undermined it with the explanation that it was to free me. Did I come to the county and ask for freedom? I was elected to work and bring benefits to the people of one county. And that is what my priority was. All of the other things that were done, you can't say that were disenfranchised. Where Senator Moore and I differ is in the interpretation of the unprecedented opportunity that one county had in the last 6 years. My view is that politics was allowed to take center stage for the collective interest of our people. Imagine what could have been achieved if the vice president and the deputy speaker had worked together to make sure more would have come to the county. And we won't be talking the story we're talking about today, but everything became political. And I'm happy that he admitted that they worked very hard to remove us from power. They didn't remove us from power because we're not working. It was politicking, talking about a lot of things. But we were being held responsible for our record. After 3 years in power, I haven't seen any significant work being done in Bond County. Most of what you see being dedicated is work that was started during the George Weah tenure.
Former Vice President Drew Howard Taylor with the reaction to Unity Party Prince Moy that won the development in the county presently, initiated by President Joseph Boakai. Two, that as vice president in the CDC government, she was in bondage. Let's move to the topical issue now. The curse that if God does not intervene to reverse, the country is doomed. The curse, the cocaine curse. The country is cursed. Unity Party is cursed with cocaine. At the weekend, and today, the close of the 48 hours, just so you know. But at the weekend, the man they put in charge of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, Fitzgerald Biago, recused himself. He released a statement recusing himself from all the operations of the DEA as the investigation proceeds. Less than no time, his boss, President Joseph Yeman Boakai Sr., ordered the Justice Ministry to investigate him. Two things I should say here, then before we get to the other. One, the Justice Minister cannot be taken serious. I can see why none of the journalists, pretty close to 100 journalists sitting at the Ministry of Information, after they asked the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sarah Beslow Yanti, the questions, it was time for the Justice Minister, not a single journalist ever asked him a question. It was embarrassing. So much so that the Minister of Information said, hey man, you ain't get question for the Justice Minister, sir? The man who heading the whole drug investigation, you ain't get one question, sir? It was embarrassing, he left. Because you know why? The journalists too are fed up with this threat. You go to a place, you make threat. You go to make any address, you NA with a threat. As if issuing threat can solve the drug problem. He said that people are they are investigating social media, they're making accusations, insinuations, inference, all those things on social media. They are jumping to conclusion ahead of the investigation, all kinds of things he had to say. That people who are investigating on social media, they undermining the investigation of the cocaine investigation and all of XYZ, they will be watching out. They will move to correct people or to have them arrested and prosecuted in line with the law. Simply put, that they won't take into consideration anything from social media. The man's own boss man dismissed his comments. Martin Colley posted repeatedly about Fitzgerald Biago and the Great Pickup. What President Bouaka acted upon, President Bouaka acted upon Facebook report, not what was submitted to him by the investigation, but what kept on coming from Martin Colley, Fitzgerald Biago receiving Great Pickup from the cartel. President Bouaka acted upon that. That's when he brought the Justice Ministry in to investigate him. It was not the Ministry of Justice or the investigative team recommendation. So the Justice Minister, if I were that Justice Minister, I'll just forget about talking in this thing here. Leave it. Leave it. Because you see, we told you all the thing. That everything you see from within, people from outside, they can see some things. It's not because you have the position, it means you know it all, you everywhere. You're not almighty. There are certain things you aren't privy to. You have the position, but you are not privy to it. There are other people who are outside, they are privy to it. There are people who are close. They prefer to give the information outside than to give it to the investigators. And that's why they have this petty thing, too petty of an investigative team. They're going all around. When you get information, you bring it to the investigator. That's how you get your information. People want it. So the man tendered in his recusal in a letter. And then after that, President Bouaka said the Justice Ministry should investigate him within 48 hours. That 48 hours expires today. But I'm not concerned about that. That is not my emphasis. My emphasis is on what Fitzgerald Biago released. If you look at Fitzgerald Biago's statement, the ending part of his statement, you can tell that this whole thing is a syndicate. The ministry, NSA, LNP, DEA, and part of the executive. If you got his letter, please read it. Read his letter carefully. In there, he used the word unwilling. Unwilling. Yeah, what he said. Let me read that line for you if you don't have it. That's the closing. He said, no institution can effectively demand accountability from others while appearing unwilling to submit itself to the same standard. What this line tells you. He's simply saying, but look, this whole thing probably you don't understand. The whole thing here, we know ourselves. We know ourselves. They try to use me as a sacrificial lamb or as a cover-up. But we know ourselves. This thing here is a whole syndicate. It is a syndicate. All of us are in it. The people who moving around with Serene, the people who having press conferences, the people who saying this, saying that, they know what's up. And they know that I know. And I know that they know. Just what Bernie Spears said. They know that we know. And we know that they know. Fitzgerald Biago was simply saying, this whole cocaine business here, we planted inside. Let me put it in a elaborate way. We planted inside. Now you're investigating me. You're telling me I'm going to submit to investigation. But you ain't want to submit to investigation to the same standard of investigation you're bringing against me. You ain't want to submit it to it, and you people should be submitting. That's what the statement means. Listen to it again. If you have a statement, just look at it. This is the second to the last paragraph. He said, no institution can effectively demand accountability. Accountability means you have to show cause for your act, reasons why. No institution can effectively demand accountability from others. From others, why? Appearing unwilling to submit itself to the same standard. So what do you think he's saying? That all the institutions in this job, or investigating the job, they must be effective? No, that's not his case. That's not what he's sending across. The message is, we are plenty in this thing, and you people putting me out. The same standard of investigation you're using against me, why you can submit to that same standard? Let all of us submit to that same standard, because all of us know exactly what is happening. And that's why you see the whole drug business looking that kind of way. They're protecting people. They're leaving certain people outside. They say they're arresting people. The person enjoying himself. Everybody on their own. Look what the prison guy said. The prison guy, look what the man said. They try to portray it like the prison guy personally, intentionally, willfully, unregrettably handed his phone to the Colombians to communicate with their sponsors in Colombia. When it was, the man revealed the reports that came out that he did it on instruction, which we'll get to. So Fitzgerald Biago's statement, as far as it is, he is saying, I'm not alone in this thing. You're just putting your emphasis on me because probably I'm the head of the sector responsible to manage, but it is beyond than what is being portrayed. We plenty inside. We plenty. So you're investigating me now. You don't even want to submit to that same investigation. That what Fitzgerald Biago meant in his statement. Y'all look at it. Why did he use the word unwilling? Why did he insert the word in his statement of recusal, unwilling? No institution can effectively demand accountability. No institution is a reference to is one to the government or the investigative team. No institution can effectively demand accountability from others. Why? Appearing unwilling to submit itself to the same standard of investigation. People, this whole thing here, that the whole government, don't be afraid to say it. You say that based on the reports that are coming out. And the way the government is doing it, protecting certain people, leaving certain people out. Do you know, at this point in time, you should have significant breakthrough that think people on praising President Boaga, or President Boaga has not done anything significant in this whole thing. It's too premature and early to be praising President Boaga, making breakthrough. Yeah, they're fighting. The president is not fighting. Look how the entire drug, the cocaine stuff going. Look at it. It's just like a game. Just like a game. They have movies that like you're watching, you think that we are in a fighting here and there, but that game they're playing. At the end of the day, everybody go their way. The 48-hour, why did they suspend or ask the Justice Ministry to open investigation? What are they going to investigate? Pick up. So they pick up here all along. They have not known that pickup. They have not seen that pickup before. Brennan Spears said, we're not stupid. That today, so the pickup just dropped from the sky. Mistress pickup or gray pickup all the time. None of the people in the DA, LMP, everywhere, they know about that pickup. That they're forcing it on Fitzgerald Biago that he received pickup. And at the time, if they claim that Fitzgerald received the pickup from the cartel, why they didn't raise it from the onset. It is now that they want to twist the narrative and focus everything on Fitzgerald Biago. I'm not defending him. I'm not saying that he's exonerated. No. In fact, he bears the burden of everything, this whole cocaine stuff, because he is the head. They put him in charge of the LDEA to clean up the mess because it was a messy situation. That's why President Bouaga took those people from there and put him there to clean the mess and keep it pure. So when it is messier than it was, he bears the burden of responsibility, the burden of negligence. Hence, he has to face the investigation. But the way they are doing it, like only this man brought those people into the country and every other thing, that pickup, should we be discussing one pickup here? That's not the main issue. The pickup is not the main issue. And why would they allow the president to stoop so low to ask the Justice Ministry to investigate him because there are reports that he received pickup from the cartel? Pickup is not the main issue yet. You put the pickup on the back burner as much as it could be admissible into the investigation, but it is not the main issue. The main issue is the people, when people are investigating drugs, they start with, they bring us into the country, the suppliers, all of the people, the contact points, everything. That material not be focusing on car, on pickup. No, that is a diversionary tactic. Names are coming up. They will ignore some of those names. They claim to have arrested. Those people are still moving around and enjoying themselves. In a high-profile cocaine case, you leaving people, all those people should be run up. All of them should be handcuffed. All of them should be taken to jail. But they dare do it because they know what's up. Somebody name going to come up. That was Fitzgerald Biago say, appearing unwilling to face the same standard. Now, report has it that the former LDEA deputy commander, Moses Colley, was running away. Report has it that he was running away. If that is true, why was he running away? Because he knows what's up. He was running away. Assume that is true. Assume that the report is true that he was running away. Then he was running away, two things. One, don't want to be so investigated because the investigation might persuade him to say what he knows, and he wouldn't want to say what he knows, fearing that those names that will be called will be bad off for the government, for the country, to his life. That calling the names, something might happen to him. And do you know that where all these guys are now? All of them, their safety. Their safety. All of these guys, don't take this for a joke. That's one thing running through these guys' minds. Their security, their safety. They know exactly how this whole thing operated. This thing been running for long, since Unity Party came to power. That's why they've been talking about doing this, doing that, this, that. You hear them talking about all those things again. The money business not come down. And not come down because the transactions not going. The money not flowing freely again. Yeah, you got mystery ship came on less than no time. The ship disappeared. Only to hear the Ivory Coast arrested it. We're waiting for Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast will tell us what they find in that ship. Whether cocaine or inside. If cocaine was inside, then it means that they brought it. If no cocaine was inside, it means that they came for what they had. Because Ivory Coast will investigate the personnel, all of those people, the captain of the ship, the pilot, everybody. Why was Moses Colley escaping the country, if that report is true? Because he knows what's up. The thing here is a complicated stuff for the government. Please, you share the show as many times as you people can, please. It is a complicated stuff for the government. Big names truly are involved. Big names truly are involved in this thing. And they are protecting those names. And I can say to you, without not missing my words, those big names that are involved in this thing, they are scared right now. They are scared. They are scared. They are scared. The big names that are involved in this thing, they are scared. They are worried. They are having conversations. They're begging people not to name them. Too many things are happening. Too many things. Too many things. The big names know themselves. They are afraid. They are afraid. Look at society. Observe society. You see how the town is quiet? You hear politicians are making BMO, screaming all over the place. You see quietude. You see caution. You see fear, worry. And no matter what, they cannot protect all of the big names. Some might be safe, some might not be safe. But names will come up. Names will come up. Names will come out. Take it or leave it. Names will come up. Big names will come up. The guy who left the country first, Pascal, is it Pascal Brun? He's in exile. He hasn't spoken yet. I think 2 or 3 or more persons left. And their leaving is not the end to everything. The fact that their names are out, they could be picked up by any one of those countries they find themselves in. They could be picked up. And what they don't want, because when they are picked up in that country and like, they're both taking the thing for joke. You think that you're liberating? You think is you're going to die down? Every day, the government widening it. You'll be praising government, they fighting drug, the government fighting the drug. We never had in CDC time. The government fighting no drug. The government is protecting. The government is shielding. Them fighting nothing. We say this because the trend of the investigation, look how it is going. What did Front Page Africa report? Then we get to Senator Augustine Chie, and it will be your time to have your say. Something was said, but we'll look at that later. The praising guy, let's get the praising guy version. Jackson Kolako is his name. Jackson Kolako will give his side of the story. Yeah. Jackson Kolako. Jackson Kolako in his version said the 2 men who show up claiming to be NSA agents were, as he said in his version, dressed in shorts, what they call short trouser, shot. And it was a violation of the prison protocol. You don't go to the prison like you're going to a social gathering that you will get in your short trousers, your t-shirt, and your sneakers. And they refuse, according to his version, Jackson Kolako, they refuse to sign the visitor log book. They refuse to sign the visitor log book or explain themselves beyond saying what the mission was. They refuse. What other thing he said? That he first suspected something was procedurally wrong. He first suspected that something was procedurally wrong. When he asked whether his superiors, the MPC, Monrovia City Police Chief Superintendent and the Assistant Minister for Corrections, had been told about the two NSA agents' visit, he was informed that they had not been told, and that the visit authority superseded the correction department entirely. He went on to say he called both men directly and that each expressed surprise at the operation. Then the Ministry of Justice will describe a sequence in which intelligence later made available Kolako also said that he had already ordered the inmate whom he said was outside simply for exercise back to his housing unit and return to his ordinary duties, overseeing roughly 1,800 inmates and around 100 officers. And on and on. Very long, very, very long account. So the report that came out first, that he took money, the Colombians gave him money, persuaded him, he handed them his phone, and they communicated with the people out of Liberia in Colombia, different from his original version. That the people higher up did influence that. Yeah, but taking a thing for joke. Then they say the president, you know, the president not did, the president not that. I'm big, yeah. So let's go excerpt from Senator Chie, Augustine Chie. Augustine Chie will applaud local media institutions, those out of Liberia, newspapers, radio stations, some politicians, radio stations out of Liberia that continue to keep this afloat. That means continue to talk about it, talking about it, instead of being silent in the midst of the threats, the criticism, the condemnations. Those media institutions like Kings 88.5, the other radio stations, Front Page Africa, Spoon Network, and other politicians that continue to talk about it over and over. Martin Colley, all of those people, Senator Chie, will take up time to applaud them and urge that they continue to remain resolute and undaunted, not discouraged at all, because silence would kill everything. What he simply meant was, if everybody just stop talking about it, it's over. His argument is, with the realistic position that these media institutions, electronic newspapers called the print media, individual journalists, those out of Liberia, other politicians, the government finds it hard and it will be forced to bring out the hidden truth. And he's right. Senator Che is 100% right. Now, there are other politicians who would say that the opposition isn't speaking, that the opposition is silent, they're not raising their voice or voices. Well, everybody can move the same way. Probably they feel that it's not necessary. So they will attempt not to say anything. Probably some of them are afraid that when they raise their voice or voices, the government will come for them, or Unity Party supporters will come insulting them, because that is the area. But that can be the reason. But I think they have their own way of responding. Probably they are waiting for the fullness of time, then they will respond. But Senator Che is excited, motivated that these institutions continue to keep the discussion on. Do you know that at one point in time, this thing was gradually dying? You people know that it was gradually dying. You could sense that relief from some government officials, even Mr. President himself. Here is it. They had dished out thousands of dollars. They have dished out thousands of dollars to certain media institutions, electronic and print, online platforms, and individual journalists. Less than no time, which is very unusual, unprecedented. That hasn't happened in any country with drug crisis or any other crisis since God created the war. Liberia is the only country with that history under the Unity Party government. Even if they receive money, they will not stoop so low to come out in a premature, childish manner. No sound journalist will do that, even if he receive money. But they came out that way so that the people who gave them the money will know. You have several journalists coming up announcing, I'm not reporting on this drug thing again. I fear for my life and my family. The next person will come, I'm not reporting on any drug thing in this country. My life is important. The lives of my family. You heard journalists saying that. And I started wondering, what kind of thing is this? What kind of culture? Even if you receive money, you don't have to come out, stoop so low that way. Even if you opted, you decide not to write on it, not to talk about it. You don't have to come and make an announcement that your life is threatened, that your family life is important. So you're not talking about this drug thing again. You don't have to do that. You are only, most of them, all of them that came out, they thought that they were saying something good, but they were portraying the government as killer government. That if we talk, then they will kill us. They portray Unity Party as bad, as killer government. They thought that they were sounding normal or they were reasoning right. If I receive money, do I have to come and say, I'm not writing on anything or I'm not reporting on anything again, and because my life is important, my family life is important? Come on. No one asks you, the sponsors don't. But because they wanted their sponsors to know that they received the money and they had to make something so that the sponsors will be convinced. And they felt that doing that way, I'm looking at it from the media side now, doing it that way, the debate will have died down gradually. But they did not know that they aren't powerful. No. You read one or two lines on Facebook. You're not on radio. Even if you're on radio, it depends on where you're sitting. If you're sitting on a pro-government radio and you receive government money, you can't say anything. Moreover, the issue is so strong to the extent that if you report on it, it will still be known, it will still be available as it is available every day. New thing comes out. So why can't you just remain silent, stay off, than to announce? So they try, the government try, these United Party supporters, they try sending money around. But guess what? It's not working. It's not working because every day the government makes the news. Every day the government makes the news. So if you receive money, you are just eating money. It's all but fair that you continue to talk. You see, Senator Chia, they say your thank you. Your radio stations the radio stations that are talking this thing, newspapers that are writing on it, individual journalists that continue to talk, politicians, you're doing extremely well. Because if everybody just mute themselves, that's what the government wants, this whole thing is finished. So he's simply saying the reason why it is getting higher and higher, it is afloat every day because you guys are talking and talking and talking. And truly, the more you talk about something, guess what? It doesn't die soon. It continues to live on. The only way something dies when you're not talking about it. It is against that backdrop that they have this thing in Liberia. They say, oh, you're leading man in Liberia that 2-3 thing. If finish, you're not hear people talking about it again. So it was the impression or the understanding they had about this drug thing that it was going to be 2-3 days. But it has gone pretty close to 4 months, and it's going to 6 months, and it's going to go to 1 year, and it's going to go into 2 years. Who keeping it up? The realistic, patriotic, nationalistic voices. It's not about Unity Party. No one is against Unity Party. It's about the country. It's about the country. So if you want to talk about it, then it means you're stabbing your country in the back. This thing has damaged the country. It has damaged Unity Party government. It damaged the country. If everybody just stopped talking about it, the government would take a breather. Then you hear the expression, thank God. Because the government knows what is happening. The government knows. The entire investigation, chakla. The entire investigation in this whole thing, a chakla. You know what it means in Liberian parlance? The expression chakla mean no here, no there. Everything upside down. Why is it upside down? Why everything chakla? Because the way they started the investigation. They started protecting. They started shielding. They started making threats. They started doing all kinds of things instead of being very honest with the people. So it reaches a point now that they cannot. It's even off Mr. President's hand. With the United States involved, the DEA Homeland investigators are in the country, working alongside with Liberian investigators. They can cover up anything. If they were to cover up and kill this thing, it should have been from the very beginning. But again, you don't overlook the power of the public. Don't underestimate the power of the public. When public start to speak and speak and speak, get hold of it. Where are we going? We are headed to three, if not 4 months in this whole thing. Who keeping it alive? Who keeping it alive? Not the government. The media, a segment of the media, let me not say the media, but a segment of the media, certain radio stations, certain newspapers, certain online platforms, certain individual journalists, certain politicians, keeping this thing alive. The government wants it to die. Listen, if this thing just dies, in no time, Mr. President will sleep for a full 2 days. Real good, sound, de-stress. This thing is troubling him to the core. He's embarrassed. His partners have spoken to him about it. His partners have spoken to him. Countries, I assume, have spoken to Mr. President on this because it is the normal. It is the normal. Your partners wouldn't feel comfortable with you hearing that your country, cocaine has overwhelmed your government, and it is alleged that some big names are involved. Right now, partners around, they are treating this country, this government, with skepticism. Yeah, is it? Hold on to everything. Let's see how that investigation will end. You hold on. You look at the government. What did they do? They say they're going on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, to look at their arrest agenda where they made significant progress. Because, listen, nothing there. Money not forthcoming. There is investor appetite. Many investors are discouraged, given what they're hearing. No investor will want to put their reputation at stake to come into a country that is infested with cocaine when they too, their partners, would not do business with them. They source funding from other countries and multilateral institutions around. That's why before they get into a given country, they consult the network. And if they say they want to do XYZ in Liberia and they are selling the idea, the sponsors financially are going to say, what are you going to do to Liberia? A country that is filled with cocaine, the investigation is ongoing. It is alleged that top brass of the government are involved. Why would you want to go and invest in such country? You can divert that investment to another country that is drug-free. It's not because you are a partisan of Unity Party. You got to look at this thing from different aspects. Mr. President is trouble. Said we're here asking whether he is in trouble. He's only portraying it like he's on top of it, but he isn't. He's trouble. He's actually trouble. It's not easy. 48 hours to say the Liberian way, it finished today. The 48 hours, it finished. The 48 hours, they gave now to investigate Biago. The 48 hours finish. So what are they waiting for? By now, we should hear something. We got this info that they about to convene a meeting, security meeting. The 48 hours finish. Look, Biago statement suggests something. Biago statement simply, man, all in the thing. You know, we started the whole thing. We're flowing together. It is a syndicate. A syndicate is a group of people working together with a specific purpose. That's what a syndicate is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A network. A network. Very sophisticated. With a plan. And they lay out the execution of the plan. I see you, yeah. Fitzgerald Biago statement, in my opinion, has shown the whole investigation backward. So let's be careful. Let's take time to address this thing here. Because the thing man say is very likely he will come out to say some things, call names. It will be too devastating for us. It will be a cocaine disaster. Y'all listen to the man's statement. As for Gerald Biago, inconvenient, he will tell you that, look, this thing here, we play it inside. It's a syndicate. But they think they can use me as a surrogate or a cover-up or a sacrificial lamb. Listen again to the man's statement and tell me whether it's not true. He said, no institution can effectively demand. He said no institution can effectively fight drug. It's different. That statement is different. Had he said no institution can effectively fight drug the way it's being fought, then he's talking about the methodologies or the pattern or the ways. The statement is about accountability. You want me to account, but you don't want to give account. That's what I mean. You demanding me, you subjecting me to investigation. I face Gerald Biago, OIC of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. You subjecting me that the Justice Minister should investigate me. But you know that you have people who are unwilling, appearing unwilling to subject themselves to the same. Then institutionally, who are we? You're listening good. He said, no institution can effectively demand accountability from others. Why? Appearing unwilling. The key word there is unwilling. Appearing unwilling to submit itself to the same standard. So, was he hinting at the LNP? Was he hinting at the LNP? Was he hinting at the National Security Agency? Was he hinting at the executive? Who was he hinting at? Because this is clearly that. No institution can effectively demand accountability. Please, people, understand that. He's not saying, or he did not say, no institution can effectively fight drugs. That will be a different statement, which will not be about accountability, but rather the methodology, the style he used. Had he said, no institution can effectively fight drugs the way it is being fought, will be different from this one. It will suggest no hint whatsoever. But this line, as inserted, he intentionally inserted this line in his statement, is to say, we know ourselves, but they're using me, they're portraying me as the bad man in this thing, as the one who initiated everything. And they know themselves, and they know that I know them, and they know that we know ourselves. That's what this statement means. Watch the words that he used. He said he used the phrase, no institution, 1. Demand, 2. Accountability, 3. Unwilling, 4. Same standard, 5. Those are the key words that make up his paragraph. Those are the words that send the message out. Put all of these words together, it gave you one word: knowledgeable. They are all knowledgeable of what has been happening with this drug or this cocaine stuff. So listen to it again, and then you can put your own analysis to it. Listen to it, what he said, then we can get to the line. Listen to it for the closing. Fitzgerald Biago knows what's up. We're waiting for the 48 hours to expire, but I think the 48 hours expire. So let's give a grace period. Let's give grace period. Fitzgerald Biago said, listen carefully, no institution can effectively demand accountability from others. No institution can effectively demand accountability from others. They are all institutions. LDEA is an institution. LNP is an institution. NSA is an institution. The executive is an institution. Institutions. Listen, that's what the man is saying, but they did not have to understand. You speak to the man one-on-one. The man will tell you, boy, there's nothing new in anything. Everybody knows everybody. I see no reason why they just put me on the front burner as if I am the person who brought the cartel into being and did everything. No institution can effectively demand accountability. Why are they holding him? To give account of his stewardship. They said that he received pickup. He said no, he did not. So what's the normal procedure? You come and give your version, explain your side of the story. That is accountability, meaning you are giving account. You are explaining. You're going to explain your version. You're going to give your side of the story. That is accountability. You are accounting for what is brought against you. You tell your story. You tell your side of the story. That's accountability. No institution can effectively demand accountability. Put it the other way. No institution can demand me to give account why they themselves appearing unwilling to submit themselves to the same standard of accountability. I just paraphrase that. No institution can effectively demand accountability from others while appearing unwilling to submit itself to the same standard of investigation. Did he hint or suggest that his colleagues are involved in the cocaine syndicate and using him as a cover-up? I think so. Well, that's it. Let's read a few of your comments, and then we are waiting for the 48 hours. Again, when nothing comes out today, when nothing comes out of that 48 hours, or the 48 hours does not, We are waiting for the 48 hours. The 48 hours expire today. If today passes and the 48 hours is not manifest, now another thing there again of unseriousness, another thing of distrust, another thing of suspicion, another thing of this thing going to last long. Your Unity Party people, you start camping. You start getting everything. You're getting enough food, enough water, everything. Just like when you go in a place, you have to have everything to sustain because it's going to be a long haul. It's not going to go down anytime soon. You can come up with different ideas. Why your own people? Why your own people not talking about the drug thing? 99.9% of your Unity Party officials, you look at them, you tiny Unity Party people, you ask yourselves, your officials that can be on Facebook, something about CDC or other people, you see them 24/7. They will post more than 10, 15, 20 times a day. Why are they? They are confronted with this. Why are they not talking? Why are they not writing? 99.9% of your Unity Party supporters, they gone to bed. They're coming out with petty things then. You know why? Because they know what's up. When you're inside, you know what's up. So you'll be screaming and yelling all over the place. It reaching the boiling point. The United States government is fully involved in this thing. Nobody going to cover up anything. It will not die. The time it should have died, it ain't die. That time. That the time will die when U.S. government fully involved, the people on the ground assisting with the investigation. They should have killed it from the very beginning. They didn't kill it. They did not know how to kill it. They didn't kill it. It reached the point now that the show, I don't want the show getting interesting here. When the hero ready to go for the bad man. So we're waiting. We're not 24 hours in or 48 hours in manifest itself. Then I 8 hours. So before I go, let me see if I can get this thing. Let me get this thing on so you can see. His Excellency Dr. George Manawia. The man knows how to throw. I say you get talk. Let me see. I want you to see something. He says something. Please, I want you to see it. Okay. Now, I don't know. I do not know whether his comments on the drug thing, he was commenting at somebody or whatever. I wouldn't sit here and lie to you. I do not know. I do not know. I try wrapping my head around it. Till now, I can't get anything. I can't. I don't know. But yeah, what he said, as you can see on the screen. Yeah, what he said. How can somebody talk about nobody? Somebody should be talking about somebody, not nobody. Till now, I can't understand. You have to have a strong philosophical depth to really get the logic. The former president is setting across. Yeah, you see, your help. Yeah, you're taking it as a test, so that you can get your point. He said, "How can somebody talk about nobody? Somebody should be talking about somebody, not nobody." I don't know. It will be foolhardy to say, I know this is what he's saying. No, I don't know. He knows. I don't know whether it's a reference to the 19.2 million cocaine, the 336 million cocaine, or a reference to something else. I don't know. I can tell you that this is what he meant. This is what this is the message he's sending across. I don't know. I try over the time looking at it to get the logic, but is that how can somebody talk about nobody? Somebody should be talking about somebody, not nobody. Let's go now. Let's read the comments first, then we go to the line. Abraham B. Kerman said, why Dillon is not talking about the cocaine business? He is ashamed. Yesterday in the CDC government, he was calling his colleagues in the legislature spineless. And today, his own legislature speechless. They said they gave the people 1 week when they called them the John Security 1 week to report back to the 1 week going to 2 months. Rubber stamp legislature. Tobasi said the Bouaka administration cocaine industry or trade has endangered the entire West Africa and Africa as a whole. Sad. Benson Weir said the government is into serious trouble. Jackson C. Pony, good to see you. You are on from Riversets, ITI. That's great. Ward for Ward said JMB just want to make himself good in front of the Liberian people, but we know he knows this drugs business. And Bappin Paul Lee said, new movie in town, and it is called The Green Cocaine Ship. Emmanuel Bro, it beats my imagination that Liberia has become a country in the world that is said to be rescued by an 81-year-old man with 42 years of experience in government, but still fighting hard to survive the presence of the proliferation of cocaine and other illicit drug trafficking cartel. On the DEA, bro, right, shamelessly, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency under the Bouaka Cone administration has confirmed that there is more kuch and cocaine in Liberia nowadays than ever before. And quite interestingly, after all the political noise coupled with the blame game, the reality on the ground is becoming harder to ignore in the presence of the proliferation of cocaine and its numerous cartels in the country. Mama Matterson said, big thanks to the U.S. government through the government of Ivory Coast, who finally arrested the IB Atlantic, the cargo vessel that Liberian government failed to arrest in our waters. The Elon Musk on the what happened to it? And Elon Musk came, they gave the president phone to who? He said, the better see Bouaka phone mail. As the Bouaka officials are really being fond of it. Joseph Weir said, why they call Jojo Bouaka and ask him about the $10 million drug money they used to build the project in Lofa? Bouaka himself had received money from those drug guys before. The Elon Musk stuff, and they gave the president phone. Say the president was communicating, he and Elon Musk. Let's go to the line and let's take a few calls, and that will be doing it. Share the show as many times as you can, please. 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 9803 75. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hi there.
Fine.
Thank you. My name is Abraham Nima, former principal police. Yeah, my attention is drawn to Moise statement, Madam Joa Otero. I just want to bring Moise that he should be ashamed of himself at this time of what he's saying. So even made mention of the school on a banger, Loba Highway. it is George we had built that school. And I think Boga dedicated that school last year. So when the Boga built the school, so it's not Boga built the school, it was we are in Joao Tino, government and put that school over there. And not only that, the Bangalore road we have paved, one of Boga dedicated the student. So it is not Boga doing. So if you want Boga to do something, then he can put truth. And see when he put himself to be somebody who is not aware of what to do, he went to LTA to go there and later to leave an office. So they should be ashamed of themselves. Who so
Okay, Chief.
The Boga people that bring Boga to do better, that brought cocaine in the country.
All right.
And we don't know how. And I want to tell Balanjua, thank you. Thank you for speaking out for him.
All right, Chief.
Because the last was surpassed if you are not spoken. Thank you very much for the show.
Thank you too for coming on. Have a nice day. Women's line. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Sanju.
Good afternoon.
Yes, it's Rabba calling from Johnson Day. Member of concern librarian for Justice. Sanju, thank you very much. You said, we're not sure as the independent media in the country that love the nation. They will be speaking on it and will be on it as it said. Until 2029. We're not sure. And it's true. It's not say the government are in back. It will not sweep on a carpet. They thought they were going to sweep on a carpet, but when they see the same thing, we're talking about the thing, the video, talking about the thing, and other videos, and what they brag. While yesterday they were all president, we are. But today they want a clarity. Yesterday we were see that president, we are bringing drugs. But they want it real today. And the government officials have then measure police director already said to the world, to the international community, and today are Clary and General Biafo, they getting car, the cartel getting car today. In cartel when you say aside, effort say, what we say the people must say aside. That independent investigation go on today. General Biafo for the 8 hours as he said, it's really passing up to now, and I just want a job. So they think will be on it. Will be on the just on it to the now and President Boka. Well, anything until you do, so let to the now, right? Even if you can pour money outside, that will either to the now. We will be pushing out. We are tired when you come to destroy the country. You fool the people. Thank you very much.
You going off from the man's line? Let's go this way. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon. David King, an executive of the Concerned Librarian for Justice. Mr. Andrews, it's a sad day for our country. Having seen the way the Union Party came to power on live, Joseph Braga mounted the podium in 2023 in Nima County when he said George Weah was the sole distributor of food and other hard substances for our young people. So he was coming to rescue the Liberian public. But we are almost surprised and dismissed. Even international wire reporting, the Al Jazeera said from 2024 to 2025, the increase of coups in Liberia has gone up to 80%. 80% importation into the country have been done by the Union Party. That is alarming. And to see the unprecedented cocaine that was brought into the country by the Unity Party. You said something that I took you from. When we heard the Unity Party making all of around here, that they would do this, they would do that. And I just knew that the Unity Party never had any international contact because Bwaga had not been a friendly person. So to hear him making promises, they were just depending on the drug money. And today, the drug cartel has come crashing, and they have crashed right on our lap. And they want us to sit here and keep our mouth shut. We're not keep our mouth shut.
All right, Chief.
We will make sure we flag the issue of the drugs until 2029, where even the Liberian people want to forget anything that is cocaine issue, they will be remanded.
All right.
On a daily basis, like people like you and us, we do that collective work for our people so that our country can be safe. So George Weah can come and continue with his development that he brought to the country. Thank you so much.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes. You are only Ed?
Yeah, how you doing, my brother?
Fine.
This is Asura. I'm speaking for During Draft.
You are on the air.
Okay. My issue here to do with it, just issue here. I just want to ask Frederick Kumar, who was the senior top government official that in the just issue. I want for him to pick name or the staff senior government official. Now he know.
That's
Okay,
all?
my brother.
All right, thank you. The women's line. Hello? Hello?
How you doing? This panel.
Yeah, doing good, doing good. And you?
Thank God, thank you. They are the code is stepping me now. Oh, thank God for life. Thank you for the show. I'm following things today. And me call on Biako. Go Maradona. Remember on the football field, we're looking up to him. If he said there and let Gere come and Boaka to use it as a buka or graper, he will feed away. If he no one know, and he said him upon him water and go investigate and send him Boaka to go and call a different medical minister to go and investigate. Then he said they use it as a graper that will hold him and jail him for a lifetime. They men brought him to the police after they took that man from the who told us to the people that where's offering that the government breaking the drugs. For the higher up breaking the drugs. They brought Boaka angry and RG and his minister, I know working as minister, they tell the man to step aside. They start that man to who are no pay. So they brought him on board to sit up for them. And today I reached a point that the people are talking. We are yelling for the drugs. You brought 1.2 billion drugs. Today, when we're in the street, you bought 3 million taxi drugs. We said something our bill. So if you said that, like you said, oh, where you leave, I don't come back where you leave, you told us, tell people that everybody know everybody. If you think they can use it as a sacrificial land, it's left with you, my brother Diago. If you want to be straight to the point, go to the issue and tell the people the truth. What's of funny? They shouldn't use you as a back of them or whoever in your stomach. They shouldn't use you as a scapegoat of their step. Everything that they get in the country to the people are picking drugs. Yesterday, we are picking drugs. Today, we are picking cocaine. They show who the hell on our water. Our friend arrested in Araco. So tell you, say, for a when you say you get 1.2 billion on your watch, then the question of opponent. You can't produce anything. You go for their salary. So the people talking about the protecting Brown and the other money investigation, the media outlet, that's a blatant lie to the people. That's a false information about people. When you tell more information from our partner to sell our investigation. And so on, not like that. We want to get more to sell our information because only confident. They say they say 8,000 and grade on you.
All right,
get 2,000. So we call the investigation to be to the routine. So my brother, don't fool yourself. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice day. Hello?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Mr. Andrew, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call for Down Coast Western Community, a member of Concern Librarian for Justice. Mr. Andrew, thank you. Firstly, I want to commend all of you in India who stood tall against the status quo, who was very resilient in advocating for the Liberian people so that we can get to the logical conclusion on this just issue that is now yielding results. Unlike some of you who failed to fall to the praise, as I was said by Police Director Gregory Como, that the drugs cartel gave some money to the likes of Patrick Honda radio station, EFBC, and other government-friendly radio stations to put this drugs issue under the carpet. But yes, you people were resilient. We want to commend you that today the DA director has recused himself. We say thank you, and history will remember you people enter the issue. Look, you know, the people have some kind of parable in the local data. Sometimes when you want to do something, they say, they made a penalty. You know, that's what Moi was displaying. And you have to understand what he was trying to portray when he was saying they did not go against their own daughter or their daughter was in bondage. You had the second most powerful seat in the country. You take it, you give it to another country, then you another country, then you say you are doing it for what? And what are they benefiting in one country today? No, sometimes that why they put yourself better now. And I like the response from Madam Joe Howard Taylor. She just If the new on the head, 2029, it will be cataloging the development of President Bwaka in Bonkante and the achievement of President Weah in Bonkante. Definitely that one will be cataloging in 2029. That's why today we want to say thank you. The opposition community today, they are very mature because they are sure of the job that they did. They know that Joseph Nima Bwaka will not even do 1/10 of the job of the achievement. That's why they are doing today. And to the drug issue, look, Mr. Andrew, what kind of evidence are we looking for around here? What kind of evidence? If the government can provide 2 ambulances, what ambulance signify? Authority.
All right, Chief.
Authority.
Thank you.
2 ambulances. They
All right.
the drugs away from me.
Thank you, Chief. Let's bring on another person. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Yep.
Yeah, Peter David Castro. I call from another street like in Lower Johnsonville. Thank you for the fascinating discussion. You know, Mr. Sam Andrew, the issue regarding Biago, I don't know. And I said he recused himself. I don't know. Who is he going to submit himself for investigation? Because he said that he recused himself for investigation. I don't know who is going to submit himself for investigation. And
The Justice Ministry, his boss man order that the Justice Ministry do a full-scale investigation.
I mean, in fact, the Justice Ministry is not even an trust. It's just like a free cartel. And that's why the time I will tell people that this particular government cannot investigate or fight this particular drug issue. And they take it to be granted. And the reality I'm setting, we are being here accusing and information coming on this particular young man. And Biago, he did not, one day he did not recuse himself, but sent Martin Kwali release that particular information and he just pretending. See, the entire drug issue is just a fiasco on a Jesse Bwakai. They are the ones that are being associated with this particular drug issue. So the Justice Ministry is not and it's free from this particular drug issue. No sector of this particular government can be trusted when it comes to the investigation of this particular drug issue. That's why we are being called upon our international partners to come and help Liberia to rescue this particular country. Because the young people, you know, are suffering from mental and emotional depression. Once the cookies, it's a high-profile drug that can tarnish the entire country. And just like Mabaka and Konis in government are yet linking on this particular drug issue. And the youth as a country to come to power. Here they are today. They are being caught in the West. Go way out. Nothing.
All right,
Every
Chief.
sector of the government is being implicated. So
Thank you,
who do
sir.
we trust? We do not trust anybody when it comes to this particular trust. Let's say on the particular investigation. All our international partners to come and help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Have a nice Monday. Hello.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, this is Edmund Carr, and as usual, I'm the visually impaired pushing for the return of President Weah and Prime Minister concerned Liberian for Justice. Like you were saying, about the quietness of the city, I was saying to one of my colleagues, I said, but when is the regime speaker? You know, we are not hearing much of him, and even the regime speaker spy, we're not hearing much of her. So like everybody just sitting and waiting for their own news to unfold with the president of the international community here. This time around, it's not in their hand. And we say, appreciate the former vice president. That is how you treat the United Party people. When they come up with something, you don't allow it to rest. You know, so she fire it at the right time, and that is the question that we are asking. The same way the official will come out and present the issue of development, that's the same way the layman will do. When you ask why is the development you talk about, you say, but you can't see it all. So you cannot be telling all about whatsoever water building will be starting next year. Then you're telling all that nothing didn't happen there. But the very road are going to Lopa County started from Bon County, Gerald Street. The very school that Baka went to go dedicate, that he failed to mention, President, we are the international community have to come up to give the historicity of that project during the delegating ceremony. So he wanted speaking to satisfy some of his supporters, but not the rest of the people, because those are the people that are living in the county and in those districts. They are fully aware as to how and when, projects started. You dedicating people projects, you owning it. So when you initiated, when you started all of these projects, so good for family and for Biako, ever since we have been raising the concern, saying the justice minister appeared as the Senate and said, as far as he is concerned, there is no one in their custody that are ongoing investigation. After Biako appearing at the immigration ministry, we have been seeing the uneasiness in Biako. Biako refused to be used as one of the sacrificial lambs to take the whip, to take the flagging of the Unity Party, and probably he refused it. And that is the reason why they will have to pass through their mountain college to come up with something so that formally he can be indicted. And accountability, yes, it could be that you should present all of the documents for the car, but it could also be you that are asking for the accountability. You now want receiving accountability from me when you yourself you are not accountable. But the only thing we can say to them is, if it decide to be used as a sacrificial lamb, it's up to you. But the means is available to you to speak out, to tell all the real story. And actually,
All right,
hey,
Mr.
it's
Clark.
the cookie jar. Don't go down alone. Tell us, call those me, and like you are saying that you don't want to subject yourself to this current investigator. And we hope that the rightful investigation will be done so that we can get a real story. What
All
rush
right.
the president to have a joint security meeting today? When
all right,
he
Mr.
had
Khan.
already given 48 hours for a report to come up. What kind of report? There is no need for extra committee for an investigation for that stuff.
All right,
Just
Chief,
request
thank
for
you.
the car document. Okay?
All right.
So that's what you do. But the president will always want to shade blame. And here we are watching, we are waiting. Maybe 20 minutes now, the report will come up. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello, Senator.
Yep.
Happy working Monday again in a new week.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you want my follow. We are calling for the former president, resident, domestic staffer to the former president and the greater man in the Republic of Liberia. Thank you, Senator. You said today I hear that the LD is former boss because concerning that he elects to send himself, and the 48 hours is have been passed because the president spoke I think 2 days in the 48 hours has passed from the justice ministry. So we pray we are entering to another terms again. So we hope that the justice minister, Minister Tue, they come on and let the Liberian people to know as Diako. Let the Liberian people know what is happening to Diako. And for you to please allow me to hear a less audacity that the president's son, one of his sons, or two of his sons, Tanta or Jojo Baka, are they travel all the way in the air or the 100 or more border that we got? Because we are not hearing to know where are they and where are passing it. And I'm telling you, just yesterday, together I feel with a supporter of President, we have so many Jojo Baka, how that he left here former before his father become president. Do you know what happened, Andrew? I shed tears. I said, George, we have to live for long because the reason when Black was wanting crying, the survival share he needs to get when he went to JFK, they doctored that. President, we are used to stand for and look at when you humanize our salary, they take everything to make Black president. And I look to E.W. Johnson. When Black hands were up, President, we are with him anyway. I think he ran on. I saw a picture with like tradition to tell you that Black was finished in life because Black was the only person in the history of Liberia in the whole world saw it. EPL went and Black because they don't want to see a
All right, Chief.
history. So I really say great ambassador to His Excellency Dr. George Weah, to all citizens to be strong. When I see the battle, this is the time that we'll stand to defend Samuel Tour, Natara Mange, and Mawani T, because they did it to all the land they put it in the international session. So that's the time the world will see this international work. Because Natara Mange, I mean,
all right, Chief, thank you. Hello.
Yeah,
hello.
Pastor, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Paul Obama. Yeah, I live in Parliament, Junction. Thank you for the information given to us. You know, the problem about Unity Party, we have been knowing it from the beginning of Unity Party being in power. Unity Party got in power after the election, after one election, their way had not been changed, or their way will not even change until they left in power. My question, I always been drawn to. For me personally, because we don't want Unity Party today, but we ourselves to prepare our house for tomorrow. If our house will compete people, and you know why not doing well. But if we not prepare our house, you might get up every day, move for your house, you can't see that you see the talk, who will see for us? It will be fine for us. Who are our house? These are lawmakers that have been there before. For we are turned. Don't pray, we are started from the beginning. Some of them are sitting down, they didn't pay. We know we had no time before we know that there's somebody that facility. So my person have been thrown today. And by that drug issue they spend over and over, they drug you will turn over and over. They will call people need. 1 year they call over somebody are in jail. Or people more than they are the people. The other people. The use of it's one of them why some people are still behind. So my concern is that why you never do that drug work, they are doing that work. And we ourselves to be on the ground doing our own work. At the end of the day, we're going to be victorious. That'll be fun for us. I tell you, when you want you boy, I know. This is what I result. I was saying, because you put on fire, your innovation, then you are not going nowhere yet. But through your effort, your control over and over, putting the over and over, this will begin to cover. I'll thank you for information. Thank you, Planet.
All right, Chief. Thank you too. Have a nice Monday. Thank you all for spicing up the show. I appreciate all of you, man. You did extremely well. Extremely well. All right. So a reminder, the 21st of August, His Excellency, the former president of Liberia, George Weah, will be delivering the keynote address at the Nigerian Bar Association in Port Harcourt, Rivers State on the 21st. It runs from the 21st of August to the 28th. From the 21st to the 28th of August. Hello. Lastly.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, for our party, I don't know how to do your show today.
Oh, the United Party, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
You say you are calling you. I want you to talk. How do I know you are calling? How do I know that you?
We all know and Liberia know that you see.
Oh, my man, the lila one, the other all country, they're not United Party country. So just say what you call to say.
If what I got to say is that the issue about education going on at United Party, so there's no radio station free to cover story or what have you, to sugar coating. For me, what I see, I think you already exposed to the international. Everybody know it. Other people, other countries to carry to help the government to investigate for the facts to come. Also, getting radio station money for me, I think it will be a waste to the government side. But to the issue.
But that's why we say that even if they give up money, we know. But let's assume they give up money, it will be a waste because the drug issue, it can't kill the drug issue.
Money, I want to know.
You say what? Yeah, listening to you. You know the party man. No, I don't know. I say even if they gave them money, it will not mean anything because the drug issue stay on. And not the thing that you just said.
Okay, so the culture now key every hard money to show our experience. Because they have PR station.
But man, we know about money. We only hear we hear and your police director say the cartel gave people some media institution money. He can prove it. We know that in a kind of situation, you know, people will be protecting their side so they can be doing small thing there.
For me, I don't want all the major issue with politics. At least
no, that politics. No.
Where you guys know you know that suspecting just case at least you bring it on to
no.
government of
no, wait now, wait. Wait. So okay, Chief. So well, let me ask you before you go. That now you know that the one politics in the Georgia, one missing with politics. That now you know.
What about that now you know? What
so, yeah, and the CDC government time. And you're saying that CDC are bringing kush in the country, that we are killing the children there. You know that politics you're playing? Yeah, my man, told you the party bear go.
So if you say we talk about those days or all they want, don't forget on the president and put it together.
What when fighting nothing together, we check line it.
To how they can we are going back to look at the back.
Okay, Chief. All right, you let the party, man. All right, thank you, yeah. Okay. Okay, Johnny, if you get tired, you get. We're not trying to avoid it better. Say you get leaky. But anyway, that radio station for everybody now, everybody. But Chief, you know it. We ain't politicizing this thing, or that your own government politicizing it. So Unity Party, man, listen, you and your supporters. We're not politicizing it. That your Unity Party people politicizing it. The English people, they get something they call irony. You know what I mean? You saying something, you harming a person. Then you say, oh, you aren't harming a person. But the person will not harm you. But you harming the person. That's how are you doing? Your own thing. Yesterday, you say that 100 million drug, you politicize it, you say all kinds of things to the extent that even the Fadiga man, and I seen Joe Bene Fadiga say, Joe, we are on die. He said, George, when Joe, we are getting plane, the plane will crash. The Fadiga today, all of them going around, they preaching the gospel, and on politics in it. And at the same Fadiga, the Unity Party Fadiga, that said, if you could turn to snake, you're going to burn George, we are die. The man cost George, that draw when I draw him on. And you know that the record can die. You know that record can die. Your Unity Party people, you know that record can die. You know that the thing that you say, it can die. And when you think you say it, you have said it yet, but it's going in the ears of other people. The other people recall. Your Unity Party people, you say all kinds of things to the extent that you're causing George Wiley, nobody business, down to your senators, your representatives, all of your people, your journalists here, and all causing George Weah. They kush. And now the reason why your campaign on drugs, you won the hearts and minds of the people, you never knew that it was wrong. That today, because Boaka they want to politicize it, drug itself, that politics, you know it. Your Unity Party people, you know, we educate you. Drugs, that politics, that political commodity. Drugs, that political commodity. The people who are trading it, they are different people. They are business people, politicians, different groups. They want in our country. They're not business people involved. That's also politicians. So then you say, we want to politicize it. Amen. Drug that political issue. The people who with the drug business, majority of them, 80% of them, they are politicians. The way they carrying it, the way it's going, that they politicizing it. Politicization means you discussing it the political way, you putting politics into it, you justifying, you saying the one, you using authority, using power. You think you did it yesterday, then you don't want people to do it today. If God in heaven were to send angel Gabriel down, you would tell everybody in Liberia, you will call a muster, you will call assembly, and say everything that CDC people doing today, they are 100% right. And they are right because you did it to them yesterday. Yes. So the people will politicize it. And I'm in support of that because you did it yesterday. If you did not do, they won't do it today. Every seed that you sow, every seed you reap, the magnitude does not matter. What matters is the intent. When you sow good words of encouragement, you will reap it. That means somebody will encourage you. When you sow bad words, you will reap those bad words. Somebody will give you bad words. They will make you to feel bad. When you sow politics, you will reap politics. That's how the thing looking. Life as a whole, that's how it looking. Anything you take from your heart, you put it outside, or you put it in your heart to use against people. They will use it against you. That's what God called the golden rule. You go there, you see it. In the Bible, God called it the golden rule. He said, do unto others. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. You did it yesterday. Yesterday, it was not about nationalism. It was not about patriotism. It was not about the country. It was about condemning. It was about saying all manner of evil things. The Unity Party people, can you imagine? Unity Party people were excited. They were motivated. They were celebrating the Fadiga. When the Unity Party Fadiga people said George William will die in plane crash. You ain't know that one? Was it right? When the man said that he wished that he could turn to a snake and burn George Weah, so George Weah would die. Before he used that one, he said George, that then after that he came with a bad cause. Your Unity Party people, you're on record. We get it. That's why we're using it against you. They draw something, will politicize it, will discuss it any way you want to discuss it, except you didn't. Because if you did not do it yesterday, say yesterday you were empathizing with the CDC government, you were telling people the same way, look, this thing, why it is true that we want George Weah to leave the presidency. We disagree with him on issues of governance, but this drug thing, let us not politicize it. It is a fight for every one of us. Let us not put it at the feet of the government. So if you had said it yesterday, like I have said it, then today we'll be saying, yes, we not politicizing this thing here. All of us have to fight it together. But you saw a seed. You saw a seed that you are reaping. There is no way you can never, no sedition can ever be convinced to join you in this thing. Say you're not fighting it or you're not politicizing it. No, you don't come down with that route. You don't come that side. Chief, your leader won. Your leader won. When we tell you that you people should not have done what you did yesterday, you say, oh no, oh Joey are dead, Joey are died, Joey are dead. That's how God can move from behind people. When you get devilish heart, when your heart is so evil, your entire body is clothed in evil. That's how God can move from behind you. Just how he will move from behind Satan. That's how he's looking. That God moved from behind your soul. Yeah. Nobody protesting. Since Boaka came to power, the country not peaceful. But you can't see anybody in the street. Want to say anybody? No opposition party calling for protest. But the country is not peaceful. The very government officials, they are not at peace with themselves. They are not at rest with themselves. The very president, he's not at peace with himself. He's not at rest with himself. Least to talk about he and his officials. The entire government is soaked, swimming in deep sea cocaine. The how God can move from behind people. When you behind somebody, whole day you behind somebody. The thing that United Party did, that's what I always say, because I saw it. Yeah? Not that CDC can do it today. The things that United Party did, they call it propaganda. That propaganda they saw that is against them today. Nobody in the street, the opposition are doing nothing. So they are happy. They say, oh, the opposition weak, the opposition weak. The weakness now, they are unable to fend off that weakness, the weakness affecting them. President confused. He know what to do. He president, but he in control. People taking the shots around him. And on we can go. So yeah, the opposition weak as long as United Party is causing trouble for itself. As long as United Party is upset, as long as it is soaked in cocaine. I see you. You don't come with that thing. Nobody more. People shouldn't. This thing ain't no national thing. That United Party thing. Yesterday, you said of CDC. CDC bringing in drug. So CDC people ain't got nothing to do with the thing. Ain't got no. The other people ain't got nothing to do with it. That your party, that your government, that your time, your settle it. Your solve the drug business. That your responsibility. Every parent own up to their responsibility. Every house has its own responsibility. United Party, as the parent of the country, it is your responsibility. Your own up to your negligence and your messy act, and just stop shifting blame. I see you. Join us tomorrow, if God permits. Before then, you want to join the doctor tonight, the teacher of the land, the light of the nation, the evangelist and attorney at law, A.B. Williams, with Face the Issues. You don't want to miss it. And on tomorrow morning at 7, join us when Israel Ball is in with Let's Talk About It. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. So you don't want to miss it tonight. It's going to be another insightful presentation, followed by tomorrow morning. Let's talk about it. Until then, we go home this way.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.